my friends, welcome to Prime Strings. I'm Henriette and today I'm delighted to teach you the Allegro Moderato, the third movement in Rieding's B minor concertino opus 35. You may have watched my other videos, the first and second movements, so welcome back if you have followed me here on YouTube. Do please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell button so I can send you notifications whenever the new videos are released. So lovely to see you here today, and let me play you the beginning. To here, shall we? And we will just talk about any little detail in the music a little bit further. Now, I don't think there's anything other to say than you want to gauge what the rhythm is, which you now know because I've played it for you, and you want to use long bows wherever you can. So whenever you get this, although it says mezzo forte at the beginning, I'm playing it out loud because it's just such an enthusiastic and lovely, bright piece to play. You might as well get it loud. The music will get louder anyway on that second phrase there. So you play out loud at the beginning. Just enjoy it while you can. So I want you to make sure you leave your bow on the string except for a few places, and I'll show you those now. Okay, so I'm going to go from the beginning. So I'm leaving the bow on the string here. But at this last note here, I'm lifting the bow off the string. So I'm starting at the point. So you must make sure you get your bowings correct. You start down bow on the beginning. Okay, down bow here. Single note here. Single note here, makes you go up bow here, lift your bow off the string there. Now whilst you're off the string, you're ready to play the second line. And that adds to the jolliness of this piece, doesn't it? So you must make sure your bowings are correct, otherwise that effect is gone. You can't play this. It's just not as nice then compared with. That's it. So that is the only thing that you really want to work on the first two lines. Let me carry on now from the end of line 2. Now here you want to put a nice accent in. So here you've got an accent, you can play this with me if you like, and now you get the accents here. Let's practice this last bar. So you want to play a long bow on the first D. Use very little bow on the D, very little bow on the E. So I'll show you again. there is a lot of difference in bow speed on the different notes here. So a very quick bow on the first D. Now don't use much bow on this D, but use a lot of bow on this E. First E gets very little bow. So wherever you see the accents, those are the moments where you use a lot of bow. Okay, so you don't use a lot of bow on the second note and on the fourth note. That is all the same as before, so join in with me on line 4 and on the B here. And now another little accent. It's also nice if you bring out the B here, and then on the next half bar, and the next half bar, and then you've got B again later on, okay? So make sure you bring out the top notes here. Now let me just talk you through. This is the last line but one on the first page of this movement. When you play the 4 semiquavers here, or the 8 semiquavers rather, make your bow strokes totally straight. So that means pushing your bow arm forwards. We have discussed this in the other movements as well, but it's ever so important here. You don't get this. You see, I couldn't get any sound because my bow is slipping away from where I need it. And you need to make sure your bow is nice and close to the bridge here, and you feel that resistance of the string when you bow. And you can get that feeling by moving your bow arm forward. So you're not here, but you're pushing your bow arm so it's in front of your tummy. There we go. Let's try it again. Now that feels really exaggerated playing it like that, but then that way you get a nice sound and you can play full, out in full here. Push your bow arm forwards. Ooh, well done. We've come a long way on that. Now, on the following page, we have got very much a contrasting section. And you're going to play much more expressively. You can see the word espressivo in your music. That means play with expression. Now, you can ask me, how do I get expression in my playing? It's not so easy to do. Well, you get the expression, first of all, because you make it contrasting to what has gone before. So we've played out enthusiastically with all the accents in our previous section. This section is a bit more mellow. We can play a little bit quieter this time and make it as smooth as you can. So you're really going to be working on your bow changes from a down bow to an up bow and to a down bow again. Make them really smooth there. So when we play the second page, we want to count it in quavers. Now the speed of the quavers has been this. Like that. So suddenly we're getting a completely different style. So I want you to keep counting quavers all the time here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's hold it here for a moment. And that transition that you suddenly need to count in quavers is perhaps the most challenging aspect of all of this here. So let's play this bit again and make it as nice as you possibly can. So very smooth in bow changes and string crossings. When we make our bow changes as smooth as possible, what I mean by that is that you are very careful not to speed up each bow stroke towards the end. So this. Can you see? So you want to keep on bowing very smoothly and make the bow changes very, very slow in a way. Here. And here again. So you want ultimate control in your bow changes. That means that when you get to the heel of the bow, your pinky wants to start bending a little bit more. Okay, so if you can do that, I'll show you again. Here, bend your pinky. Can you see that? Now that's not so easy to achieve, the control like that. But you can work on it, can't you? And I'm sure that one day you'll find yourself playing the smoothest bow change and you think, where did that come from? Because you've practiced it all the time. Okay, so let's work on the smooth bow changes here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice change. Much better already. So if you start to listen to the bow changes, you're much more likely to make them more smooth and more inaudible. So listening is half your job done, isn't it? Now let's pick it up from the second bar of the second line, because here it's also about bow changes, but more about string crossings as well. So we talked about the string crossings with our elbow, and we're going to do a bit more of that here. So while you play the A, drop your elbow down. So let's gently round this string crossing. Do it again. Okay, now 4 notes slow. Now raise your elbow and raise it even more. Drop it down. And raise your elbow again. Wow, well done. That's going to get much rounder in the string crossing. So you want to avoid suddenly going up or down a level with your elbow to cross the string. So make it nice and round. We'll do those last 2 bars of the second line again. Drop your elbow down. And lift your elbow up. Drop it and lift it up. Oh, okay. So when you practice this, what you're practicing, bow changes that are really inaudible and string crossings which are super smooth. Okay, let's carry on now with the third line. 1, 2, 3, 4. As I've done it, and I hope you've heard it, but I'll make it clearer again. So these phrases are similar sections, but then a little bit higher and a little bit higher again, and I'll show it to you. end on a C. The next section goes D to C sharp, and then you get this E to D. So you see it gets a tone higher every time. So you want to shape your music in that same style. We'll do it once again from the third line, and then we'll carry on. After 4 quavers, 1, 2, 3, 4. In this section here, the semiquaver section, that we've already talked about. First of all, you want to be a little bit closer to the bridge and really play the bow into the string, so you're not smoothing it over too lightly, you see. Secondly, you want to push that bow arm forward so your bowing gets nice and straight, okay? You're on the upper half of the bow here, and you're really going to get pushing your bow arm forward. So let's do the semiquavers once again. We'll go straight on to the semiquavers. 1, 2, 3, 4. So after each scale, you know that your elbow needs to go up to start again at the bottom of a new scale. Now, when you get to the next line where you see the slurred semiquavers, I'm putting little accents on every first note of each slur of 2 notes. Okay, and that way you can get it nicely articulated. By the way, I'm playing a 4th finger here as well, whereas it's printed as a 0, but I like it better to have those 2 notes on the same string. So you can do that. If you can do that, it's much nicer and a much better technique as well. So little accents on the slurred notes. Okay, let's do this section one more time and then we'll carry on. Into the string here, close to the bridge, upper half. 1, 2, 3, 4. Crescendo here on that last arpeggio going up. Start with very short bows, then a little bit longer, bit longer, bit longer. See how I create that crescendo? Very short bows at first, and then get every group of 2. You lengthen your bow a little bit more. Let's do that last bar again, shall we? Starting on the open D softly. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, carry on, and forward, and it's very similar to, it's exactly the same as on the first page. So I won't go into too much detail there. Now we're on to the last page of this piece, and we're going to count in 4 quavers again, just to gauge that the speed is exactly the same as the speed that's gone before. You noticed it perhaps when we played from the top of the second page into the second half, that was exactly the same speed that we kept going. Now here on the third page, it says it has the word Meno mosso, and Meno mosso means a little bit slower. Okay, so we're still counting in quavers. The quavers were da-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. So that would translate as da-da-da-dum. But now we're going to go a little bit more slowly. So I'm counting us in for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There for a moment. Now, all the same aspects that we've discussed before are valid here again. Smooth bow changes, very nice rounded string crossings and so on. But when we get to the end of the first line of the third page, you might want to pull your bow towards the bridge a little bit more. So this bit. Because you want to let the bow go slowly, but create a very intense quality sound. So pull the bow towards the bridge a little bit if you find yourself playing here. See if you can come closer. Of course, there is a limit to what you can do. If you get too close, you'll get a really screechy sound. So you can tell when that happens, and that is the point at which you can go no further closer to the bridge. So let's try that, shall we? We're going in straight where it says forte, last bar of the top line here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And relax the line a bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come closer to the bridge. That was nice. You create a really intense sound if you come really close to the bridge with your bow. Okay, and now it says tempo primo. And tempo primo means the first speed. So no longer meno mosso, but we're going back to the speed that we had at the beginning. I'll count us in for 4, and we'll go straight through to the end. 1, 2, 3, 4. you've come this far, you're doing great with your violin playing. So all credit to you for keeping going. Super. Okay, now I think we can conclude that most of this is the same as what's gone before, so we won't go into too much detail. However, if you go back from the end and you find the section where the semiquavers begin, that is, in my copy it's 4 lines from the end, you want to make sure that you play on the first group of 4 semiquavers, you use the whole bow. But this group of semiquavers, the second group, you need to make sure that you stop the bow at the place where it is comfortable to play this. So this bit here, when you play double notes, so separate bows, you play them at the upper half of the bow. So you prepare getting to the upper half on this up bow. So this bit, whole bow. Don't play the whole bow here because it brings you to the heel of the bow, and this is that's very difficult to do. So you want to play this up bow no further than the middle. So here, whole bow, half bow, brings you to the correct place to play. Now this one, you need to go to the heel of the bow because I've got 4 semiquavers slurred. So you prepare your bowing the bar before. Again, we've hit that same issue, haven't we? That you need to think ahead and sort out things before you actually get there. We've seen it with the elbow changes, we've seen it with the bow changes, and we're seeing it again now with how we share out the bow amongst the notes. So the third line from the end was at the upper half of the bow. Now, this last note, you need to go to the heel of the bow to prepare yourself for the 4 note slurred. Now this next note, this next group of 4 notes, needs to prepare my bow for playing at the upper half. So I'm going no further than the middle. Ooh, shall we do that again? That's a matter of thinking hard here. So I'm starting 3 lines from the end. Upper half, 3, 4. To the heel. To the middle. And so it goes on. So you can just write that in your music if you like. In my book it also says use half a bow, play upper half, use a lot of bow to go to the heel. So there's nothing wrong with that, writing that in to remind yourself. Now, let's have a look at the last line now. And here we come across that A sharp that we had in our first movement too. And that finger is right underneath the second finger, can you see that? So squeeze your fingers together as closely as you possibly can. And then when you get to the end, place your second finger on 2 strings together. Of course, I'm only playing the bottom note at this stage, but my finger is on 2 strings together because I need my second finger there. Chords we read from the bottom note up, so we're playing F sharp at the bottom, then D, and then B, and there's a gap between your 3rd and 4th fingers. And then you play the chord, first playing the bottom note and the middle note, but all your fingers are down on the string. And then you play. Okay, so I'm playing the chord, not 3 notes in one go, but I'm playing them 2 and 2. The bottom 2 notes first, and then the top 2 notes. So when that becomes a chord, it sounds like that. The melody is on the top note. So that needs more emphasis than the bottom note. The bottom and the middle note, they are just harmonies. They fill up the chord so that it sounds nice. But the melody is actually the B here at the top because it comes from here. Remember, this piece was in the key of B minor. So there you've got 3 B's at the end. Okay, so that is why we need to have much more bow on the top end of the chord than on the lower end of the chord. So we're playing a short bow stroke on the bottom 2 notes, yes, and then long, and with much more emphasis at the top. So okay, so now let's put it all together and let's play the whole last line. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the last note is of course 8 quavers long, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whew, well done, very nice. Shall we just play the last line once again? 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's play the whole movement together now, shall we? And let's play the whole movement from the beginning to the end. After 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well done if you've kept that up with me. Super playing today. I hope you've enjoyed this. I've certainly enjoyed teaching you this piece. It is a lovely piece. So please feel free to share it with your friends, and do please write any comments in the section below about how you got on. Goodbye.